Hey, it's Romania Black, and we are rounding out our month of commissions with the Satoshi Kon film. Oh, I'm so excited! I freaking love Paprika. That movie was an absolute trip. I love Tokyo Godfathers. That movie is so festive. I'm going to be watching it again this holiday season. It's going to happen. But we are getting another Satoshi Kon film in the form of one that I have been commissioned to see but have been requested for a very long time, and that is Millennium Actress. So special thanks to Sean this month, because Sean reached out and commissioned Millennium Actress on my Patreon. So this is my final Patreon commission for the month of November. Those of you on YouTube are going to be watching this in early December, but my commission tier over on Patreon, I have 4 slots, and they've been booked up for months. So I'm sorry, those of you that have been patiently waiting. At some point, I am assuming these 4 individuals will drop down a tier, but this month was not that month. However, and I'm pretty sure that December is already booked up. So December's already booked up. I'm taking a break in January. So coming next year, there may be some spots open. We'll just have to wait and see. But you'll have to check my December update video to see what the 4 slots in December are. And they're all really good, so I'm really excited. But yeah, so Sean has commissioned Millennium Actress. I know nothing about this film except that it is by Satoshi Kon. I love Tokyo Godfathers. I love Paprika. So I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy this one as well, but I know absolutely nothing about it. I'm going in completely blind, and I'm happy about that as well. So thank you to Sean for commissioning. You're an awesome real one. Thank you to everybody on the commission tier over on Patreon. You 4 are amazing. I'm very humbled, as always, that you all are willing to donate your money to have me watch these amazing movies. I feel so lucky to be able to do that. And thanks to everybody on my Patreon for supporting me in any of my tiers. If you're on YouTube watching, you can go check out my Patreon. If you don't have Patreon funds, that's okay. You can like this video. You can comment. You can subscribe to my channel to see what all everybody's ending up commissioning me in the future. So, with that being said, my shameless plug is out of the way. I did find this movie on Crunchyroll. There were a lot of different places you can watch it on Tubi for free, but I think it might just be the English dub on Tubi. And I wanted to watch the original Japanese sub. I'm more of a sub person. I know there's some really good English dubs out there, but I like to start with the sub because usually the script is more in tune with what the creator wants, even if it's translated into English. So I usually start with the sub. But Tubi has this movie for free. I think Pluto has this movie for free. Amazon Prime has it. But Crunchyroll had it, and Crunchyroll doesn't have any ads for me. So I was like, we're going to avoid the advertisements. So I am watching it on Crunchyroll. I'm doing the Japanese subs. You can stream, and you can connect down below, but for copyright reasons, I have to listen with the old things. If you want a picture-in-picture one, though, you can check the link down below. There will be one of those. But if you want to stay on this YouTube video and watch it, then it's just going to have the subtitles. That's just what I got to do to keep my channel going. Y'all understand that. Even though I'm going to be making commentary the entire time. So, it's so weird. It's the end of the month, but we had a warm spell today. It's kind of weird and humid, so I'm like, wearing a t-shirt feels weird, but I woke up this morning and I thought, today's the day. I'm gonna watch Millennium Actress. I feel like the Star Wars with Millennium, it felt appropriate. So anyway, I'm gonna get a sip of my coffee, get ourselves ready to go, and we're going to start this commission. I'm so excited. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoy. Thank you again, Sean. We are going to start Millennium Actress. I am so excited. I'm so excited I forgot to put in my headphones before starting this countdown. But we're going to get to that here in 3, 2, 1. And I am excited to get started. I would say see you on the other side, but we're going to be watching this together, like, in this video, so. Oh. If it starts with a Star Wars-esque opening, I will freak out. But no. A little Star Wars-esque, not gonna lie. Earth and the moon? Nope. That's no moon. It's a space station. Ah! What the fudge? Maybe this is more Star Wars-esque. I mean, the show is called Millennium Actress, so is this a movie? Is this a movie set that they're doing? Is this like Armageddon? Aerosmith starts playing. Maybe it is a movie set. The dialogue feels like it's for a movie. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, it feels very cinematic. I kind of like that it's maybe a little bit meta. Yeah. Oh. Man, the movies with this, all of this extra, like, just background details, so good. Earthquake, yeah. Okay. There we go. See, AI can't generate all of these little tiny background details. Oh, wow. And the days of VHS where we were like rewinding it. Oh, and it's like rewinding her life. Oh, Satoshi Kon. Love it. Yes, please. The VHS rewinding through her life and as an actress. Mm-hmm. Okay. God, this movie's, all of their movies are beautiful. Just like Hayao Miyazaki, Satoshi Kon has a very distinct style in his movies, and I really love it. Hmm. Are they a news crew? Titanic was called the Ship of Dreams, and it was. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This all feels like, yeah, it's following her life. She's got a key to the basement! Don't tell Aaron! I wonder if they're like going to direct her as like an old woman or going to go interview her as an old woman. And then she like has to reframe, ooh, her whole life. Oh, wow. Speaking of Hayao Miyazaki, the Spirited Away vibes, y'all. The Spirited Away vibes. Huh. Oh. Man, Satoshi Kon loves some angel imagery. Oh. 70 years. Chiyoko Fujiwara. Ha! Ah. Okay, yeah, so she is old. Yes. 30 years ago. Wow. Well, he could have been a kid back then. We make him carry all of the equipment. Oh, do not insult his... Oh. So is she old? And they're just... Okay, yes. 70's not over... No, 70's not ancient. I love that he's a fanboy. But I bet she does. Ah. Okay. Oh, I love the detail. It's so good. Wow. For a long time. That would be. I mean, the garden is nice, but the books are all just her. So I wonder if she's aged, if that, like, maybe she thinks she's going to die soon. I love the idea that this is like a biopic about her life. Oh, well, we didn't think about that. Oh, and this guy's such a fangirl, such a fanboy. She's clearly 70, so she's going to be older. Wow. Wow. Lotus. Wow. I wonder if her wearing the kimono and everything like helps with her posture. She's still so beautiful. Uh-huh. This guy is like in love with her. It's like being his idol. She's like, I don't know if that's what she was asking for. Oh. Okay, so it is the basement key. Oh, wow. Yeah, how did he get it? Oh. I wonder what it's for. Yeah, this earthquake. Oh, wow, he was like, oh. Glad you could look so positively at that. It looked like he was going to like try to save her though. Born during one. Is she going to die during one? Oh! The tiniest baby! Oh. Oh, wow. To take his place. Oh, wow. She, of course, has the beauty mark. I'm assuming this is during World War II. Mm. And her having, like, disagreements about that. Mm. Wow, she's so pretty. Mm. She doesn't seem like she's married or has kids. A snub-nosed girl like me. Wow. Hmm. Wow, her posture and everything. Oh. She must have taken a lot from her dad because she doesn't look like much like her mom. Oh. Wow, so like some propaganda. Ooh. Damn, framing it like that. Oh. Mmm. Ooh. I like that they're like imagining him being there. Like, how do you serve your country? Wow. Hmm. And she's kind of caught right in between it. I like her just like leaning down like she doesn't feel. I love that he follows her with the camera. Huh. That's so cool. As if they're right there. Mm. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so if this was taking place during World War II in the 40s and she's like, let's say she's 10 or so years old, then 60, then this is taking place right around, well, Millennium actress right around 2000. Okay. Yeah. Ha! What are we filming? Yeah. I love it. I love the meta, like, we know we're not really here. I like the idea of them listening to this interview is like them stalking her. High recognizable voice. You're in the shot, boss! Oh, interesting. Did he steal the artwork? Huh. Ooh. Oh, with the scar. But he didn't. He went straight that way. Yeah. Interesting. I love that as she's telling the story, they're following along with her story like they're filming it. Oh. Girl, like her first acting gig was convincing them. Would she have said otherwise if she hadn't seen he was bleeding? Huh. Is that like her grandfather, maybe, or her uncle? So is she like trying to heal him or something? Yeah, okay. His voice sounds familiar. Is he Kaji from Neon Genesis? He sounds like Kaji. Hmm. Oh, interesting. Girl. Mm. Being inspired. Mm. Was he a deserter? Is that why? I wonder if she gets to see him. Hmm. Oh. I mean, I would be inspired by this guy too. Okay, there we go. Oh. Oh, his paint supplies. Hmm. Huh. Hmm. So did she leave him the key or? Yes. Hmm. Of course it is. Yes, of course it is. Well, yes. Did he? But like, why would he leave the key if it's to his art supplies? Unless something happened. Oh. Oh shoot. Oh crap. Yeah, why would he leave the key? Oh, I like the one. I like the hand pointing on the sign. Oh shit. Mmm. Oh. Okay, good. He's in on it. Yes. He's in on it. Yeah! Good job. Good job. Oh, and this is her chasing the train from the beginning. Oh shit, girl. Thank God the cars couldn't go fast back then. I can't praise the movie enough for being gorgeous. I can't praise it enough for being gorgeous. Love it. The Awuga car horn. Oh, damn girl. And there he is. This is hard work. Oh shit. Oh. Oh wow. Damn. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh. Interesting. And the movie that was made was based off of that. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. So she wanted to go there because that's where she wanted to find out information on him. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just wanted to go find him. Ah, wow. She looks crashed out. She looks crashed out. I'm sure she's like it's the substance. She's in the substance phase of, oh, wow, and all this too from the OP. The substance phase. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Ooh. The nephew. Okay. Oh, and he clearly does not like him. Yeah, he auditioning actresses. Sure. Sure. Yeah, no, he seems a little slimy. Hmm. Well, don't know. Hmm. Ah, damn, girl. Hmm. Oh, wow. Uh-huh. I love it. Clearly the slimy nephew, the one guy who's the fanboy doesn't like him, so he must I'm like, did he do something to her? Hmm. She still like slumps her down, like her posture, she slumps down. Oh, there we go. Channel it, girl. Channel it. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, cuz he's sleazy. Yeah. Like that one man was very pure and kind, and this guy gives off all the predatory vibes. She reminds me of Tatsumoto from Memoirs of a Geisha. A little bit of like the over, like the past her prime, you know. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Okay, but are other people looking for him too? As like a deserter? An earnest heart. I don't think you do either. Oh. But if they're trying to find out an activist, if they're trying to find an activist. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bandits? Oh, wow. Oh, shit. I didn't know this was a thing that happened. Oh, wow. The fact that she lived through this. Oh, wow. Girl. Oh. Uh, oh, wow. And then we cut to the movie. And then we cut to the movie that she's in. And she keeps using that man as her motivation. Wow. Wow. Okay. I love him trying to protect her, but oh, I love her using it as motivation. Everything she does is to like get is like her emotional anchor is him. Oh, and her imagining that it's him dying instead. Oh, how many times did you cry? We're gonna do the Romeo and Juliet thing, aren't we? God, I love how this flows. Tis a witch. Ooh, I love. Ooh. Oh. 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 Oh, wow. Okay. I just love how all these little movie scenes like flow together. Oh. Doomed Yuri! We got it in this movie. Look at us. Oh, wow. The face in the wall. Oh. I love it. Since when? Mm. Oh, wow. Okay. Ha! Ha! I love it. I love it. He's like, what is this? Clearly, our cameraman has not seen a lot of movies. I love this. It's so beautiful. Oh, and the guy with the scar, the detective. Oh! Oh! Oh. Wow, and there it is. Huh. The cameraman's like, really? Where was I? We got a little off track there. Hmm. Ah. So not only Nagato taken prisoner, but the man that she was after, she thinks he might have been taken prisoner too, maybe as an activist. Hmm. It's a funeral procession. Oh, damn. Oh, he's a prisoner. Wow, and they're channeling all this emotion. Oh, wow. Ha! Ah! Mm. I mean, an actress has to have range. She can't be typecast. Oof. Uh, you must be joking. Ha! I don't even have a name in this movie. Ha! Ah! Ha! Ha! Mm. I love the idea that the interviewer, the man here, like he loves Chiyoko, but I don't know, think it's like it's not in a sexual way, or he's just like he loves her for a different reason. Maybe I should just get myself fired. Love it. I love the cameraman. He's my favorite. Oh, I'm wondering at what point will the one actress here not be suitable for film anymore because of her age. Oh, ha! Oh. 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 I get such a Mikasa vibe from her with the red scarf. Oh. Oh, wow. And she has aged. Uh, wow. And mirroring real life. And the key. Ooh. Well, millennium's for 1,000 years, so the 1,000 year T, so that all connects. Yeah. Okay. I'm assuming all these movies also connected in like the realm of film, maybe. Uh huh. Ah! Dude, she's already in the next. Yeah, she's already in the next film. Huh. That's funny. Uh huh. Speaking of memoirs of a geisha, Hatsumoto, that's her name in that movie. Mm. Hmm. Huh. Weren't we supposed to be making a documentary? Well, of course we are. We're interviewing. Okay. Of her as an actress. God, these old folks. Hmm. Oh, wow. Oh, I love it. Instantly, she's like, okay, I'm ready to go. I wanted to help you. Yeah, it's like such a platonic love between the two of them. Aw. Pull yourself together. I love him. Oh. Uh-huh. I have a feeling she never gets to see the man again in real life, and that's the whole thing with the key. But I'm like, I want her to see him again. I want her to see him again one more time. But that's part of it is that she's been chasing this man, and her emotional draw to him is the influence for her being an actress. Oh. Oh. Is that him? Did she meet him in real life? Oh. Oh. But where? You didn't give her an address or anywhere to go. Oh, and the man with the scar. Satoshi Kon film. You don't know how much of this is real, how much of this is her projecting, how much of this is her from the past projecting into the film. Oh. Oh, wow. Worry not! Ah! Horses. Oh, she's really good at that. Yeah, she's already gone. Love. Yeah, so you don't know exactly how much if she ever actually saw him, or if this is what she projected she wanted, or if it was a blend of like their first encounter with what she imagined and how her memory has changed over time. Like, you just can't. She keeps searching for him, but it's like, how? And I wonder if he watched the movies and has seen her in the movies and knows it's her. Like, you don't know that either. Mm. Ha! Oh, you're not worthless. Oh, wow. It's so seamless. I love it. God. Oh. Mm. Oh. Oh. Mm. Okay, so this is still a movie. Yeah, 'cause she knows so little about him. Yeah, her. Hmm. The cameraman. She has such a forlorn look. So it is the same, like continuity. The continuity. Oh, who are you? Huh. Okay. Hmm. And the scarf. Wow, the red scarf she wore that she used to like wrap around his leg. All the continuity of it. Yeah, I love the symbolism of that. This man with a damn scar! Lungay would be proud. Uh, this girl always running. She always running. Oh. This actress that plays her voice is amazing. I just want them to be able to meet, damn it! Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. And now it's passed enough time that it's like a World War II movie about it. Wow. Is it sci-fi? Oh. Oh, wow. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. And like mirroring her as a kid. Oh. Ooh. Uh-huh. Yeah, and like the after the bombing. Mm. And the storefront. Mm. I love the muted tones, like the post-war of like her outfit and everything, like the costuming to match the moment. Oh, and then the poster of her. And like her finding her youth and all that. And maybe, yeah, was the portrait, yeah, of her or connecting to that lost time of forgotten youth. Or we will meet again. Uh-huh. So it's like the movie, yeah. Mm. All that music. Is this real? Is this going to connect to real? Is this going to connect to reality? The spinning wheel. I feel like I've heard this voice in another film as an evil witch. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it did translate to real life. Mm, mm, hmm. Oh. She's like, no time like the present. I may not be here tomorrow, so we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Mm. Making it start in the studio. Mm. The Godzilla! Yeah. Right, exactly. In the 1950s, yeah. Oh, it was him. Oh, wow. I mean, he's aged really well if that's the case. Oh. But still, you've aged pretty well for. Hmm. Oh, these two. Wow, these two are so bitter. Hmm. Ugh, he's just sleazy. I don't like him. Ugh, I don't like him at all. Stay away from Choco. Hmm. I fell for the flattery. Hmm. Yeah, this sleaze. Ugh, I don't like him at all. Ugh. Ugh. Mm. But he just said he was doing it just to keep her in his graces. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, such a pretentious line. Ugh. Ew. There we go, girl. Yeah, get away from him. He's sleazy. Yeah. Take that. So she's not noticed, I'm assuming. Oh. Ah, girl. I would have been the same way. I would have thought it was him. Not always. Mm. Oh, wow. True. But, ugh. Oh, wow. Wow. Mm. Oh, did she really? Was that part of it? Interesting. Interesting. Huh. I like that kind of distinction between the film and reality. Oh, no. And she lost the key. Oh, did she take it? Bitch, did she take it? She took it. Okay, so she has kids. Oh, and he was just watching her kids. And that woman took it. Wow. Mm. No one knows for sure, but we think it. Oh. Mm. Huh. Wow. Mm-hmm. Oh. Which is why we don't ever see his face because she can't remember it. Oh. 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 Mm. Oh, wow. To that sleaze. Ugh. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, oh. Is this real or is this a movie? Oh. Oh. Is this how it really went down, though? Oh. Oh. Poor her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm. Hmm. I'd slap him. She's like, bye, bitch. Oh, the detective. Oh, wow. He looks like he went through a lot in the war. Oh. Oh, wow. I want to know what it says. Get out of my way, bitch! And he stayed behind to talk to the old man. Oh, wow, the detective. Oh. Oh. Hokkaido. But the question is, he gave her the key back, so is this all made up, or is this, how did she lose it again? Oh. Oh my gosh. Ah! And all this like running into each other and leading it. Oh. 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 But we're in Hokkaido. Hokkaido's like a big place. Oh, wow. And the moon. Wow. Ah! Quit being so damn mysterious! Tomorrow means hope. Oh. Everything is keeping her from getting to him. Wow. I hate that she can't see him. Ugh. Ugh. But she couldn't remember his face earlier, so it's not going to happen, is it? Otherwise, she would have remembered his face. Oh. Ha! Wow, and like the beautiful colors. It's so bright. I love it. Gave me very Tokyo Godfathers reference. And the full moon and the light of the tunnel. Oh, it's so good. Ha! Ha! Oh my gosh. There's this, like, again, this line between reality and how much of it is all tied to the movies, or how much of it is metaphorical of her having all these barriers and obstacles to get to him. But she didn't have the key. Oh. Girl. You just want her to see him. You want her to be able to see him. And the moon, yeah, and all of that. Oh my gosh. The painting. The painting and the landscape. Oh. Oh, wow. And it just connecting and him walking away. Oh my gosh. Damn it. Oh, wow. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I know. Ah. Ah. And we go right back to the beginning. Right back to the beginning. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh. And that's where she lost it the second time. Okay. Oh. 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 And that's where she lost it the second time. Okay. 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 Wow. Wow. Yeah. She really she really was haunted by that. Wow. Well, no, it just he's like I didn't do anything. Huh. Oh. 30 years. Wow. Oh yeah. Okay. Mm. Is that it? Oh. 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 Wow. And she was kind of like Eiko in that sense of not retaining her youth. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh shit. Oh, oh. Oh. Wow. And then the end of the tying that with the studio and everything. Ha! Here's the keychain! Oh. Oh. I really was hoping for like this against all odds ending, but damn it! Damn it! Oh no, the doctor says you'll be fine. Oh. 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 Damn it! Oh. And the symbolism of tying her and like lifting off with her. Ah. I wanted her to see him again. No, I want her to see him again. Ah. Damn it. Okay, are there anything post-credit? Is there anything post-credit? I don't think there is. Oh my gosh! Ah! Oh, this was amazing. This was such a good movie. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I want to talk about the production and the wiki for this first before we dive into the actual movie and discuss it. So this discussion maybe broke up into different parts because I want to talk about the movie. This is one of my favorite Satoshi Kon films. I still think Paprika is my favorite. Oh, I still think Paprika is my favorite. I like Tokyo Godfathers so much, and Perfect Blue is really good. I think Paprika's might still be my favorite Satoshi Kon film, but Tokyo Godfathers and this one are like neck and neck competing to get up in there. It's so good. I feel like of all the Satoshi Kon films I've seen so far, though, even though this one has a lot of surrealist elements, this is maybe the most grounded of the films. I feel like it's the most grounded. I think that Tokyo Godfathers and Paprika, to me, take some of the surrealist elements a lot further, and it's kind of like give or take. It's kind of like apples and oranges. You either like it or you don't. I love it. I love when the surreal, like, if you know going in it's gonna be a trip, and with Paprika it makes 100% sense of how it's able to do that. Tokyo Godfathers gets away with it. There's a little bit of moments where I'm like, oh, what, waha, but in that exact phrasing. But I feel like Millennium Actress, because I love the way they set it up, where it's an interview. It's an interview with Jinya and the cameraman talking to her in her residence. But so we, the audience, as she's recounting her experiences as an actress, as she's recounting her life, we kind of go back and forth between the films that she was in and her life, because the films she was in and her motivation as an actress was fueled by that one experience, that one moment that changed her life. And that was her motivation for not only being an actress, but for living and existing, was that chase of that man that inspired her and gave her a reason to want to be hopeful. And so, it's so good. And then the ending, I was like, if they don't tell us what her final words or her thoughts were, but it was like, it was the pursuit. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Just basically. So I want to go through that. I want to talk about the actresses that played. Fujiwara's actress was Fumiko Okasa, who played, she was in film, she was Riza Hawkeye in Full Metal Alchemist. She plays the young, our young version of Chiyoko. Yeah, the young version was Fumiko Orikasa, who plays Riza Hawkeye. I think she plays Rukia in Bleach as well. Girl has been busy. Yeah, she's Rukia in Bleach. She's been in a whole lot of things. She's been voice acting for like 30 years, which is crazy, but she's amazing. She's 50 years old, so she's been voice acting since she was very young. But yeah, she did amazing. Her voice actress, give her all the flowers. The older version was Mami Koyama, who voiced the older Chiyoko. She was voice acting since 1975, which is insane. And she is still voice acting now, y'all. She's 70 years old and is still voice acting. That is crazy. Crazy. She's been in One Piece. She's been in 1,000 things. She most recently was in, she was an old woman in the Blue Lock episode Nagi. That's great. Look at her. She was Queen Serenity in Sailor Moon in 2021. Woman was in her 60s playing Neo Queen Serenity. Give her her flowers. Give her her flowers. Like, she's been in everything. That is so crazy. How cool. Love it. Love it. She took a big break. She took a big break from 2001 and 2009 to like 2016, probably for her health. But then came back and just did some roles. I freaking love it. The man's voice, the mysterious man that we never found out his name, never got his like full-on face entirely, was Koichi Yamadera. Koichi Yamadera, 64. His voice was so soothing. I loved it. He started doing different voice acting in the 1980s. I wondered if he was Kaji's voice actor, because his voice kind of at times sounded a little bit like Kaji, and I was like, I don't know. He was in Rama One Half, the 1989 version. He was in that one. He's been in a lot of little things. Nadia, The Secret of the Blue Water. I actually have that. I need to watch that at some point. He's been in Dragon Ball Z. He's Tin Shinhan in Dragon Ball Z. Of course he is. He is Kaji! Yes! He is Neon Genesis. Yeah, he is Kaji's voice actor. I was like, I know that voice. That sultry, sexy voice is Kaji's. Anybody would be swooned. Woman, men, they, them, anybody would be swooned by that voice. He is Kaji. And he's Spike, yeah, from Cowboy Bebop. I'll never forget that voice. So yeah, yes, Yamadera, Koichi Yamadera, love it. Like, mwah, that voice is like sex on a plate. Yeah, of course, he does like the perfect voice for that role, for the man with the key. The man with the scar, the policeman that killed him, has been in a lot of things. He's mostly a TV actor though. But he did replace the voice actor to play Goldie Roger in One Piece, so there's that. And he's been in Blade Runner. He's been a Persona actor. He was in Full Metal Alchemist. He's been in a lot of things too. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I just did a really good voice cast. I loved it. Genya's voice actor was Shoujo Izuka, who has been voice acting since 1965. This man's 89 years old, y'all. This man's 89. He was in Astro Boy. He was in Mobile Suit Gundam. He was in Dragon Ball as Android 8, like in 1986. He's been in Yu Yu Hakusho. He was Inky. He's been Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Samurai Champloo, Blackjack. He's been in a lot of things. Devil May Cry. Wow. Is he still voice acting now? His last project was 2020, and he was in Seven Deadly Sins. Oh, he died in 2023. No! R.I.P. Shozo Izuka. R.I.P. Genya's voice actor. Man, that sucks. Bless. Well, R.I.P. He did a really good job in this. So, production-wise, with this, it was from 2001. So yeah, 2001 animated drama, co-written and directed by Satoshi Kon, and produced by Madhouse. The animation. We're going to talk about that here in just a hot second. Loosely based on the lives of actresses Setsuko Hara and Hideko Takamine, telling the story of two documentary filmmakers investigating the life of a retired acting legend. As she tells them of her story, the borderline between cinema and reality gradually becomes blurred. Yeah, I loved the blurring and how it was used for the metaphor of her pursuit of him. But at times you weren't exactly sure. You're like, okay, is this reality? Is it not reality? Did she really go after him? Did she really? And I was like, no, she couldn't have, because she didn't have the key and everything. The only thing that is certain is that one director, he was sleaze, pure sleaze. But yeah. So she was born during the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake, which took the life of her father. And then, so by the time the World War II came around, she would have been like 33, 43, like in her 20s, like 20s by the time World War II came around. Yeah, and her career started to flourish, right? So yeah, production-wise, this is the second film by Satoshi Kon after Perfect Blue. Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, Tokyo Godfathers and Paprika were after this. That kind of makes sense. I feel like this film, Satoshi Kon does a really good thing of blurring reality with fantasy and surrealism, but I feel like Perfect Blue it takes the surrealist aspect and transfers it to horror. So it kind of it's a grounded film, but then all the surrealism is played for horror. So it kind of matches the genre, and it feels like what you would maybe expect, even though Perfect Blue is like so trippy. This is a pretty grounded film in comparison to some of his other works. This is a pretty grounded film. It has a very clear, definitive beginning, middle, and end. So if you told me this was like one of his earlier works, I'd be like, oh no, that That makes sense. It says, following the release of Perfect Blue, Kon considered adapting Paprika into his next film, but they were stalled when the distribution company for Perfect Blue, Rex Entertainment, went bankrupt. Oh, okay. The project for Millennium actress came from the words, let's make a movie that looks like a Trump lele? How do you say that? Who decided to produce Kon's film because he thought his previous work was amazing. That feels French. I want to do Google Translate real quick. We're going to do a Google Translate on this one. How is that? Trump, what? I'm going to get this right. An artistic term. An artistic term for deceiving the eye, a highly realistic optical illusion of a three-dimensional space and objects on a two-dimensional surface. Oh, it's associated with painting, which would track with the man in this, which tricks the viewers in perceiving painted objects or spaces as real using forced perspective. I want to know how you say that. I feel like we need to know how to say it. Detect my language, please. Yep.
Trompe-l'œil.
Again, French can't say certain sounds.
Trompe-l'œil.
Trompe-l'œil. Trompe-l'œil. Trompe-l'œil. Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. Nice. So there's, different things of making it look 3D on a 2D space. Well, consider mission accomplished, right? Okay. And so the script writing began with a sentence that Kon came up with. An old woman who was once touted as a great actress is supposed to be recounting her life story, but her memories get confused with the various roles she played in the past, and they begin to blend into it, creating a tumultuous story. That's basically it. That's basically the movie. Perfect. Mission accomplished. The structure was decided at the rough plot stage when Kon fleshed out his sentence, and the last scene remained intact in the finished film. He then worked with the scenario writer, Sadayuki Murai, and the producer to develop the episodes and detailed character settings to be included in the plot. It was very, honestly, seamless. The whole thing from start to finish was seamless in terms of getting just the characters going from scene to scene. And the fact that as the viewer, you are wondering the entire time, okay, what part of this is her motivation for acting? What part of this is the actual scenes from the movie? What part of this is her own inner psyche? What part of this is reality that she's recounting that's blending into the movies? And it all works because she's an older woman whose memories are starting to get kind of muddled together, and she can't quite distinguish what were my thoughts from the reality. It's so good. It's done so well. It's so good. Yes, love that. Unlike the previous film, which he was hired to direct, this one was his original project, so he was able to express his own opinions and decided to put more emphasis on the sound, the music, asking Susumu Hirasawa, who he had adored for a long time, to compose the music. There were 250 staff members in total, and the production period was 2 years. The 20 or so main staff members were almost the same from his previous work, with only the animation director changing. In the previous work, the character design was done by Hisashi Eguchi and the animation by Hideki Hamasu, but in this work, both were done by Takashi Honda. The reason for this is that the animation director is very important and a burdensome position, and the animators who have the skills and abilities that Kon would like to work with are usually those preferred to draw keyframes rather than the animation director, making it difficult to ask them to continue their work. Honda was chosen because he's someone who draws rather elegant pictures that can appeal to those outside of the animation community and is genuinely talented in order to make sure the movie would have reach for audiences both within and outside the spectrum of the animation fandom. Yeah, I feel like this movie, it's so realistic that there's really, even the surrealist part of it aren't really like surrealist in a, when I think of surreal, like Studio Ghibli, for example, so like Paprika, it has this like over the top sensational element to it where I could see somebody that's not an anime fan would be like, I don't know. Ghibli kind of does the same thing. Hayao Miyazaki films kind of do the same thing with the surreal aspects or the fantasy aspects. But this kind of felt like Monster, like the series Monster. It just feels like it's very grounded in that there's nothing that's overtly over the top surreal. The most of it is, it kind of feels like Inception, where you're going from this dreamlike state to reality, and those get gradually blurred over time. So yeah, I could definitely see that. Love that. Some of the character designs were done by Kon himself, and all the posters of Chiyoko were drawn by Kon. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. This is Kon's last movie to utilize cell animation, as his later works were produced using digital ink and paint, among other digital methods, and most of the scenes were drawn based on Kon's layout. I mean, 2001, I feel like a lot of cell animation towards the early 2000s were starting to go towards digital ink and paint, so I could see that transition, but this film's gorgeous. I said it at the beginning of the reaction, and I will say it again. AI can try many things, and AI can make things look efficient, they can make things look easy, they can produce things in mass quantity, but they will not be able to replicate the tiny details, the little things happening in the background that takes a human sentiment to understand and replicate. It just, the soul will not be there. It just won't be. Sorry. So I love this. The budget was 130 million yen, but the final budget was around 100 million and a few tens of millions of yen, one of the lowest production costs for an animated film in Japan. Yeah, how much is that? Because that doesn't feel like a lot. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That was 663. That was less than $1 million to make this movie. Less than $1 million to make this movie in 2021. If we were to do inflation, because that was 2001 USD inflation calculator, I want to see this real quick. Like, how much would that be? So if we were doing January of 2001 and this were the amount. Okay, so right now it was like $1.1 million to make. That's nothing. That's nothing today. For a movie, that's nothing. That's so crazy. Wild. So the film, they don't have how much it made in Japan on here, which is interesting. It didn't make a lot in America. It was only on 6 screens in North American release and made about like $38,000, which interesting. So yeah, I'm so curious about that. As far as they're going to talk about themes and stuff, which I'm going to go over with you all here in a hot second because I want to talk about themes and then go through the movie. But I need to take a break before I come back and record more on this. The critical reception, it was favored by critics with a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. A rumination on place, LA Times critic said, a rumination on the place movies have in our personal and collective subconscious. Millennium actress fascinatingly goes where films have not often gone before. Yeah, this definitely deserves the hot praise that it gets because it's a very good example of a narrative that has a beginning, middle, and end. The themes all connect. There's not a lot left. There's not a lot left unsaid. The stuff that is left unsaid is intentionally done so. It's not like the creator forgot a plot point or left something without being finished because they didn't know what to do with it. No, anything that's left unsaid, like the man with the painting, he was killed. He was killed right after she met him. So this whole time, she has been chasing a shadow of something that didn't exist anymore. And by the end of it, and that's so sad, and I felt so bad because I was, you have these high hopes going in. Halfway through the film, I was like, well, maybe he'll just show up at the hospital. Like, when she's at the hospital, maybe he'll show up at the hospital. Maybe she'll turn over and he'll be in the bed next to her, as cheesy and cliche as that would be. Or you'd be like, oh, she'll see him. Or we find out at the climax of the movie that she did see him and that it was not the meeting that she expected. But no, he died right after she met him. The man with the scar tortured him and killed him. And she went this entire time believing that he was still around and chasing that dream of that man she loved. But then at the end, and you feel sad about it, but at the end of the film, she's not only surrounded or next to someone that genuinely loved her. Like, Genya genuinely loved her. And I love their relationship because Genya was not sexually attracted to her. He wasn't necessarily romantically attracted to her. It was just this platonic love. Like, he just loved her as a person. And he loved the art that she created. And I loved Ginya's relationship with her because there wasn't like this lust. Like, he got mad at the director that lusted after her. He got mad at him because he's like, you don't really love her. You just physically are lusting after her. And I was like, oh, and I'm glad that she left him. I was like, It sucks that they were married because, ugh, what a sleazeball. But I just love that she left him. And I love that Ginya was there by her side whenever, because it's just that superficial. The director just lusted after her looks and her like success and fame. And at the end, Ginya is next to her deathbed, this aged actress, and he loves her for who she is and for what the art that she created. And I'm like, yeah. So I just, it's like by the end of it, I was sad. But then when she revealed at the very end that it wasn't, she's like, it's okay if I don't see him again because it was just the chase that I loved the most. It's like, it is just good beginning, middle, end to it. Yeah. Love it. I don't blame this movie for winning awards that it clearly did. So love that. I want to go through and talk about the themes and talk about the movie as a whole, but Romania needs to take a break and then we're going to come back and talk about that. So yeah, about the themes, where do we start? I feel like I said, this is I liked the overall groundedness of this film. If I'm going to the wiki article to talk about it, it began with a request to make the movie like the painting, the trompe l'oeil that we talked about, like the previous Perfect Blue. However, it was only a film technique, not a film theme. Both works share the same methodology of blurring the boundary between fiction and reality, yes, and both works are like two sides of the same coin. I could actually see that. I was thinking about Perfect Blue throughout the reaction because there are moments, especially with you have two films, they both have a female protagonist. I don't want to get too much into Perfect Blue. YouTube took off my Perfect Blue reaction because I was a young copyright person and I was a young YouTuber and didn't quite know how to do things when I recorded Perfect Blue, but it is over on my Patreon, so you can go to Patreon and find that reaction on there. I think if you're a $1 member, you can have access to it, but it's over there. And it's also, if you're in my Discord, there's a link in there that's like pinned. You all can see it there. But yeah, I was thinking throughout the reaction that with the female protagonist is kind of the central point and her like going through the motions, but not knowing exactly what is real and what is fake. And I don't want to spoil Perfect Blue, but I could definitely see how they are two sides of a very similar coin. But it says this film seamlessly connects fiction, and I like that they talk about Perfect Blue blurring the boundary, and this film connecting fiction and reality. And it's used to express the protagonist's uneasy inner world in the previous film, used in this film as a fun adventure, turning the film from a psycho horror, which is Perfect Blue, to a suspense, into a tricky and humorous entertainment. Yeah. So this wiki article talks about Perfect Blue a little more than I want to because I don't want to spoil anything. I do love what they did at the end of this film by having the actress go back and talk about the old woman and the 1,000-year-old tea, because you kind of wonder throughout the film, the old woman keeps showing up. And I kept wondering if like these films were all connected and she was like a recurring character, kind of like The Conjuring or something like that. And as the show goes on, like in the one scene where she's like looking at where the one actress was, but then she sees the old lady in the reflection of the glass and she screams and everybody on set's like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, that's not part of the scene. Then you realize that the old woman has kind of manifested herself within the actress's psyche. And so now Chiyoko is like, the woman represents her and how much she's changed from being a child to now. And I kind of really like that because what we have with Chiyoko is that we see her as the like 70-year-old actress at like the final level, and we see her as like the 14, 15-year-old at the beginning, and then throughout the movie she ages, but we don't get to see, because it's a very fast-paced movie, we don't get to spend too much time with her. So when we get to that point where where Chiyoko is probably like in her 30s, we see the old woman there and we're like, okay, this is where she mentally is at right now. That gives us an idea. It was really well done. I loved it a lot. Yes. So Kon gave to the staff Utaga Kuniyoshi's Ukiyo. At first glance, he looks very fierce, but he's actually a kind person. Talking about like the way that they were structuring the film. It has a complex structure. Yes. Where staff members who visit the legendary actress for the interview experience her life story in a fictional world where the actress's past and the movie she appeared with intersect. making the story a mixture of fiction and reality, as well as a tribute to various classic movies. Yeah, like I definitely got Godzilla. The monster story borrowed from Godzilla. I got that one just from the zeitgeist alone. But they talked about how the main character was modeled on Setsuko Hara and Hideko Takamine, and the movies that appear in the film include a period piece in the style of Throne of Blood, a film by Yasujiro Ozu, a Chanbara sword fighting story by featuring Kurama Tengu, a monster story that borrows from Godzilla, and the science fiction story, which is the one with the ship, the kind of interstellar-esque one at the end there. The story follows the personal story of Chiyoko Fujiwara, an elderly actress, and gradually becomes a muddle of reality, dreams, and movies. Each episode represents a series of scenes of chasing, running, and falling in different situations in time. I really liked, I feel like you could say that the running element with her gets repetitive over time, but I liked it because it connects to the very end where she's like, it wasn't about finding my true love. It was about the pursuit of him. It was about running after him. It was about having the hope that you might catch him, but you just don't know. It was about the thrill. It was about living. It very much felt indicative of this is us living. We're living, chasing something that we may not get, but it is the pursuit of it, which honestly, by the end of it, I was kind of thinking of, I'm watching Windbreaker at the same time that I'm recording this. Windbreaker is such a fun show. I love it. But there's a character in a recent episode that I watched that will probably premiere the week after this airs on this channel. But that character is aiming for the top of the ladder, and they reach it. And then they're like, oh, what now? And usually if you're at the top of the ladder, the only way to go is down. So what I liked about this movie was she kind of realized throughout the movie, you could tell she was realizing, yeah, this guy's probably dead. Yeah, this guy's probably never going to see me again. Yeah, I'm probably not ever going to have the love that I had kindled in that one little moment. I'm never going to be able to recreate that. That was lightning in a bottle. But she wanted to keep pursuing it because it gave her hope for tomorrow. It was like the full moon, the night before the full moon. It gave you hope for tomorrow. It gave her something to look forward to. It fueled her passion and her desire. And before, when we start out the movie, she doesn't really have much passion. She basically is going to either inherit a sweet shop and marry to further the family line, or it's like, what else is she going to do? I liked the angle that they talked about with the propaganda, because America was doing a lot of propaganda in World War II. There's a lot of media. If you ever watch the old Disney cartoons of like Donald Duck Goes to War, I'm like, I'm American. I understand, but it's propaganda just by definition alone. And so it was interesting to see her kind of caught up in the movie industry being like, well, we need to put out this propaganda because we need to get the people's spirits up and rally them together. I always find there's a segment in the English classes I teach where we talk about drama, and I love talking about American drama because the genre itself really took off around the time of the Great Depression, which was the 1920s. And it was a time very reminiscent of now, where there was a lot of uncertainty. There were a lot of financial bubbles, lots of possible recessions. People were very uneasy. And there was a lot of like kind of eat the rich talk going around then. And in the 1920s, a lot of the plays that were premiering across the United States were very much like Shakespearean plays, but they were plays about like European wealth and like Victorian literature where it's like, oh, first world problems and oh no, I have a mansion and all this money, but whatever shall I do with it? Like, you know, and the American public that were going through the Depression at the time were just kind of over it. They were just done with it. And they were like, no, we're going to restructure the theater to kind of reflect what's going on and plays that we would want to see. So while not necessarily propaganda, it was a reflection of the times. And this is kind of what she gets involved with, what Chiyoko gets involved with is sort of something very similar, where she is kind of thrust into these movies to try to raise morale amongst people that are dealing with war or dealing with, you know, harsh economic times, as they would say. But I really love the relationship between Genya and Chiyoko, that little platonic relationship they developed. It was fantastic. But her life, the sum of all these, repeats various setbacks and revivals while continuing to chase after the man with the key, who is almost an illusion. This work is basically a repetition of the same episode, a cyclical story like bolero in music. Kon said that this idea of a fractal structure owes a lot to the music of Susumu Hirasawa. The story also reflects the hospitalization Kon experienced after his debut as a manga artist and the frustration and struggle he felt at the time. Quote, everything is ruined, but can I still make a comeback? This film is famous for making many audiences feel betrayed by Chiyoko's last line. Oh, I don't think so at all. No. Kon said the process of human growth is a repetition of death and rebirth, in which the values we have accumulated up until that point become unacceptable in a new phase. And even if we can rebuild them once they're broken, they become unacceptable again in a new phase. And he involved the audience in the fractal of the film by asking them whether they would be able to get up and continue to chase, run, and fall, even after they fell at the end of the film. Ooh, Kon said, there is no single solution. That's what I want most of my work to be. I want people to see it in many different ways. I would argue of all of his films, I feel like this one's the most straightforward that I've watched, because even though there are parts that are questionable of, okay, well, was this reality? Was this fiction? Was this a blending? Was this her talking? Was it Genya talking? Whose perspective was it? I feel like even though there is some question that we can talk about with that, I feel as if for the most part, this was a pretty straightforward, like, okay, this is what, like, basically about the idea. I love that concept of human growth as a process of death and rebirth, because every 10 years our cells completely reconstruct themselves. We change from and I like the fact that she changed. She knew how she was at the very beginning, and I like that, you know, she was all slumped over, her posture was really bad, and she was very doubtful of herself, but her experiences and her love that drove her gave her the passion to keep it up, the passion to keep going. And I just love the concept that at the very end she realized she was a different person. And I like the ending because she recognizes, she's like, even if I met that artist now, I would not be the same person I was then. He would not be the same person he was then either, which kind of goes back to when she meets the man in the movie that she has, we don't know if it's dream or a movie set or reality, but she meets the man that she thinks is the man in the painting, and he doesn't recognize her. And that's kind of a little foreshadowing of what's to come. The foreshadowing of him not recognizing her in that moment is her realizing, yeah, he wouldn't know me now. Even if he watched my movies, I'm not the same person that I was before I made those movies. So it's so good. I love it. So, Millennium actors received the grand prize in the Japan Agency of Cultural Affairs Media Arts Festival, tying with Spirited Away. This came out the same year as Spirited Away. Oh my gosh, what a pair of movies. Chiyoko and Chiyo. Oh my gosh, what a pair of movies. I would watch a double feature of those any day. Spirited Away is one of my favorite Ghibli movies. It's one of my favorite Hayao Miyazaki films. Spirited Away got me into anime filmmaking. I love it. So good. Interesting. That's crazy they came out the same time. What a world. 2001 was a year, y'all. A year for many reasons, good and bad. Whew. What a time. It's dawning of the new millennium, right? So yeah, I loved Genya's character, the care that was taken of him giving her the key, the way that he had saved it because he knew how precious it was to her. And what I love about Genya's character is he was very much like fully aware of his unrequited love. Genya knew he was getting nothing back from her, and he didn't want anything back from her. He just wanted her to know that he was a fan, that he loved her, that he was willing to like sacrifice himself for her. Like, Genya was a real one. I loved his character so much. And I also loved the beginning montage of all the art of her like growing up in like post-war Japan, and the idea of her like meeting the man. I love that she was all slumped over, like her posture, like she just didn't see the point in what her purpose in life was. And the moment she met the man, she straightened, and that her posture never slumped again. Like only it slumped for a moment when she like told the man to go the other way, but then she helps the guy who got the artwork and saved him. I love that her uncle or her grandpa tried to like let him get away. Yep, and he talks about painting. Complete the painting while I'm so cold that it hurts. He says, when peace comes, I'll invite you there. I love that we never see his face. It's just because that kind of is so perfect. We never see his face because later when she cries and says she can't remember what he looks like, we don't know either because she's telling the story. And if she can't relate to us what he looks like, we don't know. But yeah, it's so good. And the pinky promise between them, anime films and their skinship, let me tell you. But the key was to the case of paints, the most important thing, which was, what's interesting is, if you talk about comparing him and her, to him the most important thing was his paints and being able to express himself and being able to express his passion. And for her being able to act is her form of expression. Her being able to be an actress is her form of being able to exude her passion and get it out of her system and out into the open. Just like he took all of his frustration and all of his emotions and put them onto the canvas, she did the same by putting it onto screen with her acting. The humanities are important, y'all. The humanities are important for a reason. We need them for a reason. I loved it. Everything about this movie I loved. The man with the scar that chased after him, I'm so amazed that he came back. And honestly, I kind of felt sympathy for the man with the scar at the end, because even though he killed the guy that she loved, even though he killed the painter, which is like, don't do that. You could tell that he was atoning for his sins. Like, he lost a leg. You can assume he lost a leg. He lost an eye, which could have been from the war. He was like hobbling around, going place to place to atone. Like, and you felt that sincere regret come off of him. It was such an interesting character moment. Also, the cameraman, love him. The cameraman, he was like the most funny character in the whole movie. I loved every time he was like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? The least favorite character is that damn nephew director. Ugh. And the fact that he preyed upon her and like lured her in to marry her just out of lust. Ew. I'm glad she left him. The implications that they got together are really gross, and I hate that, but I'm glad the movie didn't focus on that, and I'm glad she just got away from him. Like, yeah. Especially because, you could tell how much she loved this other man and didn't really care for the director. He just preyed upon her at a rough moment. I did feel for the aging actress too, because she had like a Hatsumoto vibe from Memoirs of a Geisha, where she was like, used to be the young, vibrant youth, and now she's aging out of acting. Very, very substance coded. Loved that. But yeah, this movie was just so beautifully animated. I loved it. I love that Genya kept, as they were telling the story along the way, Genya kept like her going with telling the story so they could film it and they could talk about it, etc. But yeah, the colors, everything. For this movie having the budget it did, absolutely beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. I think my favorite scene visually, though, might be the scene in the cellar. There's something about the way Eiko is up against like the grain when she calls Chiyoko naive. I know it's for a film, but she's just like, you don't know how the real world works. You're just naive. All this. It's so beautifully lit. I love it. But then, yeah, them taking away. The man with the scar coming back in was just so good. And then I love the transition into the post-world discussion, the post-war discussion of how the war affected everyone. And then, and she gets, like, the actual Chiyoko kind of collapses after that moment because of just how she stressed herself out about that, right? About rethinking that. Otaki, that was the director, but ugh. His whole discussion about you have to flatter them. She says, I really fell for it, didn't I? I guess I feel like I think it made the scene okay for me because those kind of things, like, he didn't like assault her or anything, but he very much tricked her into like wooing her. But I like that she kind of said, I did fall for it. I was wooed by him. And for the short time, like, I fell for him, but in the end, I love that Genya just had so much disdain for him. Like, yeah, F yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when she can't find the key, that's when she marries Otaki. But she doesn't stay with him for long, luckily. Also, there's the implication that her mother didn't live long enough to see her get married. There's the implication that either the mother didn't live or she's in the portrait or she's holding a portrait of their grandmother. One of the two. But yeah, she has like the very Western style wedding dress that looks very 70s. And then I also find it very interesting that she's like in their house doing housework, like domestic work in his shitty organized office. And that's when she finds the key that he had stole. And then she's like, bye, bitch. You took this from me. How dare you? I love it. And then that's when Aiko's like, yep, I stole this for him. I was jealous of you. And then she just walks past him like, no. Mm-mm. Yeah. Good on her. Good on her. And then she sees the detective. Yeah. Which she ages very gracefully. Like you can't really tell how much she ages throughout this. But when you see the detective and how old he is, that's when and then you see Otaki and how much he's aged. That's really when you get a grasp of, oh wow, she has a very timeless beauty. And these other people around her age quite quickly. But yeah. I'm also glad she didn't get to hear the one guy tell Ginyu that he killed him. I'm glad that she had the whole thing of going to Hokkaido to try to find him, and she didn't get to hear the man with the scar tell Ginyu that he killed him, that she's been chasing this illusion. That was 30 years ago when she walked off the set. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I never thought I'd see him again. And then at the time of the accident, it dawned on me, I wasn't the same person that he had remembered. And then she sees, yeah, the old woman. I didn't want him to see me now that I've aged. And honestly, that is a little connection to Eiko. Eiko's whole thing was she was jealous of Chiyoko's youth. But Chiyoko kind of got to that point where she realized where Eiko was coming from. Like, oh, wow, I'm not the same person I used to be. And that's kind of the thing, too, because I'm in my mid-30s. Once I'm 38, then I'll be in my late 30s. But I'm still in my mid-30s. I'm still going to maintain that. But I've had to come to terms with the fact that, like, I'm not young anymore. Not young. I'm still young. I'm not middle-aged by any means. No. I'm not middle-aged at all yet. But I'm not youthful. I'm, like, in my 30s. You know, you're a third of the way through your life, right? You're a third of the way through. So you kind of have to look at it that way and be like, wow, you're not a young spirit anymore. You've grown up and you're not going to look the same. So, I feel for Ginya so much. She was pursuing the shadow of a person who is no longer there. And that's when you feel sad for her, but I like the ending because she reclaims it at the end. As she's lifting off, like, the moment she's dying, she says, because she tells him in that moment, she's like, I have the key thanks to you. It's as if while you listened to my story, my younger self has come alive again. But then even then, you know, as he's crying, he's like, this time you'll find him. And she's like, that's not the point, though. I love she says, we'll see. Though maybe it doesn't matter. When she said it doesn't matter, and then he's like, what do you mean? And she dies, which is so sad. I love that last line that she says there. After all, what I really love is the pursuit of him. Sean, you picked such a good film! Sean, you picked such a good film. This was amazing. I loved this so much. I had so much fun with this movie. This was amazing. I will never say no to a Satoshi Kon film. Mwah. They are amazing. I love them so much. I'll never say no to any of them. So yes, please. I hope you all enjoyed this reaction and discussion. I'm so curious to know your thoughts about this movie down below. But I had so much fun with this. I really enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. But in any case, I hope you all have a wonderful week. We have commissions coming up in December, and then we'll take a break in January for Janu Yowie, but I'll talk more about that in the December update. So with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and I'll be back to you real soon with more reactions. Bye!